Thanks, Faye. Yeah, not very often you have a match involving two players who've won at the Crucible, which doesn't mean a great deal, although
for
Graham Dott and Sean Murphy, the carrot is
Graham, your choice.
Finishing second in the group. Whoever wins will finish second. Whoever loses, they will be in third place, and Gerard Green will bring up the rear.
Well, Sean, play well.
Thank you.
Well, Graham, play well.
Let's make it best.
First frame, Sean Murphy to break.
Right now, by the way, if it is a 2-all draw, they would both finish on 4 points. Their frames won, lost records would be identical. 6 won, 6 lost. Obviously their head-to-head would be a draw, and so therefore it would go on the high breaks. And right now Graham Dott has made a 106, so he has got the advantage in that regard.
One.
Not a bad early chance here for Sean. 2 or 3 loose threads before he has to go into the pack. He's not quite hit the ball as well as he normally does today. Sales can't get through the group, but there's ranking points to play for, so I still want to finish second in the group.
$60. 70.
Yeah, deliberately finishing low on this red. This will open everything up.
24.
A lot of top spin through the pack, hopefully back onto the black.
25.
Yeah, not bad, not perfect, but not too bad. We have to play a little cannon here on the left-hand side of the red. Sorry, red on the left-hand side of the table. It's to its after black again.
25. Sean Murphy 25. One.
Murphy negotiated his first group, even though on his own admission he wasn't at his best. Today the mistakes have still been there, but of course with the improved, heightened opposition,
8.
they've been exploited more.
Nine.
Yeah, these two are basically playing for £1,000 difference.
60.
3,000 it is for finishing second in this group, 2,000 for third, and at the minimum they will finish third, as I explained earlier.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, it's not where they want to be, Phil, but you never know where this extra £1,000 could take them throughout the season. You know, for World Grand Prix and the other events coming up. So, you know, it could make a difference.
Yeah, you're quite right, Mark. I think actually when we get down to the World Grand Prix,
24.
£1,000 will make the difference for someone. It's the top 32 players for that tournament just before Christmas
25.
at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry. The top 32 players on the one season ranking list. And it's always a real scramble towards the end to try and make your way into that event. Heard you mention before, Mark, that Graham Dott has been called a slow player, which is utterly ridiculous. He's not slow at all.
Yeah, I don't really know where it came. Maybe it was, possibly that final that he won against Peter a few years ago. But other than that, I'm not really too sure where that's come from. He's always been a pretty fluent, quick player since I've known him. To be honest, it's just a strange one, which has sort of come about from nowhere. He really gets on with it, Graham.
Yeah, being called a slow player was such a bad rap for him.
45.
Basically, back then, the number of frames they played in
46.
the penultimate session of the World Final was ludicrous. So they had to catch up at night. There was one really lengthy frame, I recall. And obviously, Ebden, great fighter and competitor that he is, was also very methodical. It was the World Final. Negative snooker was bound to be played.
53.
And it all
54.
conspired to be quite a late finish, but that wasn't because Dott's a slow player.
No, I mean, you can get scrappy frames. I mean, I remember a bit that final, it was like that, and you get scrappy frames and frames that take a long time, and it can put you out of the rhythm,
60.
and you sort of get involved with it, and you start taking a bit longer than normal. But even so, just because the frames are longer, it doesn't mean the players are
61.
slow. It's just the way the frames go sometimes, and you have to, especially in the World Final, you have to play them as they are. And there was a lot of sort of scrappy frames that took a long time in that particular final.
67.
And it's just the way it goes. But in general, Graham's a pretty quick player.
Graham Dott, 67.
That double was frame ball. Dott is 42 ahead, 43 on. Yes, when Dott won the China Open in Beijing the year after in 2007, he was playing superbly, absolutely chock full of confidence. And his average shot time was something around 19, 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think it'd be around that mark in most of his matches, I would say. 19, 20, maybe 21. That's pretty fluent play, really, Phil.
Now that could be troublesome. Well, to win the frame outright, Murphy has to pot 2 reds, 2 blacks, and all the colours to steal it by a single point.
Thank you. 1.
Straight away, he's finished a little bit straight on the black here. Not ideal. Got a slight angle there, but he wants to be high on this red. That's a bit short. So he's going to have to go in and out of balks to get back on the
8.
black.
Nine.
It's a pretty good effort. Not perfect on the black by any means, but it's not too bad. Played that really well. Fantastic shot.
16. $18. $21. $25. $30.
Well, what a surprise.
John
He'd
Murphy,
done
30.
all of the spade work, and then the pin goes astray. Symptomatic of his day, really, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Just what I was going to say, Phil. I think it sums up Sean's day today, really. Just too many sort of mistakes you don't expect, and ones he wouldn't normally make. I think it's just early season. I think he's taking his eye off a few pots today, which you know, 2 or 3 tournaments into the season, he wouldn't be doing those kind of things, and he certainly wouldn't have been missing, you know, balls like that.
Well, Dott is clearly going for it at all costs, and it could be costly.
$6.
As the
Sean
white was
Murphy,
coming
6.
down the table there towards the black, a little flick off the black would have been ideal.
I'm not sure if he played the double there, Graham. I think he may have played the ball cushion onto the side cushion.
Well, well, well. Now, Murphy's potting from distance today has been substandard for him. Can he crack this one in? Well, you can't believe it. Oh, what a fluke. The
7.
wages of
Okay.
sin.
Sean
He
Murphy.
missed it by the proverbial mile, and it flew in without touching the sides down the table. Well, what a frame that was. Not very often you see a player make a 67 break and lose it, but Graham Dott did, because Sean Murphy in the end was so lucky. What's the old saying? It's good to be good, it's better to be lucky. What a fluke from Sean Murphy. He missed the black, well, by an unbelievable distance, and it yet went in.
Second frame.
The thing
Framed
that
up.
was remarkable about that shot for me, Mark, we all know about Murphy, how well he cues, how many balls he knocks in from distance. I can't imagine ever seeing him miss a ball like that by so much.
I know. I mean, there was 2 incredible things with that shot. The how far he missed it by. To see Sean miss a long ball like that, like you say, by that far is 1 in a million. But to get the fluke like that is incredible. It's just caught the jaw of the middle pocket to narrow the angle to go into the corner pocket is incredible. You kind of don't, you know, you never deserve a fluke really, do you? But you certainly don't if you miss balls by that far for them to end up going in. But you know, it's all part of the game. You just got to get on with it.
This, of course, is a relatively low-key match now because it's just a case of playing for second and third. But can you imagine, and it will happen at some point, where a massive final is decided by a fluke of that nature? It will happen.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, definitely. I mean, it's hard to take, but, you know, as I say, it's a big part of the game, especially with the standard being so high. You know, bits of luck here and there are massive. There's nothing you can do about it. It's all out of your hands, really.
8.
So it's hard to, like I say, if it happened in a big final, it'd be hard to take, but there's not much you could do about it.
You hear that phrase, don't you, all the time? Oh, luck evens itself out, which is complete rubbish.
Yeah, I've never believed that. Anyway, I don't. Yeah, that's one phrase I'm not, you know, too sure about. You know, some players get it and other players do, but there's certain. It does. I think it evens itself out in the end. I think some get more than others, and it's when you get them as well, at crucial times.
Exactly the point.
13.
A fluke in a frame like that is obviously less significant than a fluke in the decider at the Crucible, say.
Yeah, exactly.
40.
By the way, it's a third, fourth place playoff effectively on the other table going on at the moment. Alexander Ursenbacher, Ashley Hugill have shared the first two frames, and the third, with one red left, is very tight.
19. 20.
There's the match in question. Hugill from York, Ursenbacher from Switzerland. The finest player Switzerland's ever produced.
Foul and a miss for Alexander Ursenbacher.
That group decided because Ryan Day beat Stuart Bingham in the penultimate
26.
match. So Day finished top, Bingham second.
$27.
So Mark, before we start talking about this frame, gives me the opportunity here, this low-key affair, to talk about tomorrow. Group C on table 2. It features David Lilley, Bai Lang Ning, Nopon Sankam and Mark Davis. Thoughts?
Yeah, just looking forward to it, Phil. I try, you know, I don't really
33.
put too many expectations on myself anymore. I just try and turn up, try my best, and you know, hopefully play well. But like I say, all the players can play now. They're all tough games, so certainly, you know, not looking at any easy matches anymore. So every game's tough, especially in short formats. So just looking forward to it. I want to get out there, start playing again. It's nice to win the first group, to be in this position. And you know, I haven't played Dave before. I don't think. I've played Bai Ling. I think in his first year I played him. I've played Nopon a couple of times. But look, all the guys can play these days, so it'd be a tough group. And as I say, I just try and focus on myself. I know it's a boring saying, but that's all you can do. Just to, you know, hopefully your game's in good shape, and then, you know, take your chances from there. If I go there and play well, then I expect to have a good day.
It's not been a particularly good day for either of these two, and you could see the frustration as Dott missed that red.
Six.
The one thing I will say about Sean Murphy, though, as you probably know through David Hendon, he bought everyone donuts, 5 dozen of them.
12.
His birthday, of course, so he splashed out. And let me tell you, the one I had was heaven.
I must have missed out on that one, Phil. I don't remember getting any invites for donuts. I wouldn't turn them down. So
They're up in the media room. Still a few left.
13.
And it's not the first time that Murphy has come up with that gesture when he wins a tournament or
19.
makes a 147 or whatever. He rewards everyone.
20. $26. $27.
Would you believe? Here come the donuts.
$33.
So if I do a solo commentary, you know why. He's munching away, old Mark.
$34.
Gone for the plain one, just the simple glazing.
well, that was tough. That was the toughest thing I've done all day, choosing which one to have, Phil. All sorts of selections there.
40. $41.
I hope you're not expecting the same on Thursday for my birthday, Phil, because I'm too tight to start buying donuts for everybody.
Just buy one for me, that'll do.
47. $48.
Oh, this frame now, the hard work starts now. There's two awkward reds now. Shaw needs them both. So it'd be tough to win the frame at this visit, really, from here. He's normally very, very good with the rest.
52.
You could potentially, with this one, leave a slight angle on the pink to get the other one off the cushion. Yeah, fantastic shot.
Thank you.
Looks like he's got a good angle there, just to nudge the red off.
Well, there was a major bump as he took his cue back, but he was able to stop himself. We can't blame spectators, Mark, because there are none here. Always behind closed doors, the Championship League.
59.
But of course, next week at the British Open, fans will be back.
60.
Yeah, it's good to see, Phil. Need fans in sport. It's been tough the last 18 months without the fans in. It's great to see him back at the
64.
Crucible and then hopefully every tournament this season.
66.
Sean's taken these really well, by the way. Fantastic break. Some awkward shots, especially the last two reds.
69. $73. $78. $84.
What a smooth break this has been.
91 in the frame.
From fortuitous to fluent, Shaun Murphy shows us a glimpse of his very best. He was lucky in the first frame, but that was pure class. He leads 2-0. Just to help out.
Sean Murphy to break.
So Sean Murphy needs one of the next 2 frames to gain the victory that will secure second place in the group, that is. And I wouldn't be surprised if he won it 3-0 because Dott looks dispirited.
Yeah, arguably it could be 2-0 to Graham here, to be honest. First frame, he had a good chance in the last frame there. Mr. Veddy wouldn't normally miss. He's in a spot of trouble here. Good safety shot from Sean there, opening the reds up. Good cue ball.
Tell you what, Mark, they're not messing about. First frame, 12.5 minutes. Second frame, 10 minutes. Average shot time so far in the match. Dott, just over 16 seconds. Murphy, just over 14.
It's pretty good snooker. It looks a bit rash, but I think Graham's trying to make the plant there. He was in a lot of trouble there. He was just trying to make the plant to get in, because sometimes you're better off going for a ball if you're in a tough spot than trying to play a really difficult safety shot.
Four.
Murphy's
5.
next assignment is back here at the Morningside Arena next week. And he takes on, in the first round of the British Open, Mark Selby in a repeat of last season's, this year's, World Championship final. Now you think, well, hold on a minute, how can they possibly play in the
10.
first round? The reason being the British Open is not seeded in any way, shape or form. It was a completely open draw. And that was a blockbuster tie.
11.
Some would say cruel. And I wouldn't disagree.
I think it's a random draw after every round, Phil, isn't it? For the British Open, is that right?
It is indeed, Mark, yes.
17.
Yeah, I don't mind new formats. Obviously, not necessarily a new tournament.
8.
We've had it years ago. It was on, but actually quite like different formats for certain events. Makes it interesting for everybody.
Yeah, there was a random draw used for a few of the old British Opens, and it really added some
24.
spice, I can tell you.
25.
This is the best Sean's looked all day now. Starting to really
31.
get through the ball like he normally does. The break in the last frame, and so far in this break.
32.
Actually, Ryan Day gave us some very interesting info upstairs. When I spoke to him afterwards, he was saying that they have used brand new balls today, which early on were
38.
really reactive.
Yeah, it can be. That is, Ryan was.
39.
I was talking to Ryan. He was sort of saying it felt like they'd put a bit of polish on the balls. They were so reactive, and you know, I'm not sure this table is quite as reactive as the one Ryan was playing on. But yeah, he was saying. I mean, Ryan, you know, gets a lot of reaction out the cue ball anyway. So if he's noticing it, then it must
45.
it must be really active. Yeah, new set of balls can do that. You know, sometimes you You don't need, it looks like there's polish on the cue ball that's being cleaned and all the other balls, but actually it's just a brand new set of balls.
50. $51.
You know, it might seem as though it didn't mean a great deal, but in sport, top players can suddenly find something. Maybe, Mark, maybe Murphy found something in that previous break
57.
of 91.
It certainly looks like it. He's hitting the ball
58.
fantastic now. Since that, you know, Graham missed the red in the last frame. He had a good break in. It's only a matter of time. Sure, you know, I know he's not got through the group, but Sean doesn't keep struggling for too long. He's just far too good a player for that. And he's,
64.
you know, like I say, he's playing like we expect now. Winning frames in one chance.
You hear it all the time on the golf circuit.
65.
A player will say, "I found something on the range." It's perhaps imperceptible to the naked eye, but to them, it really means a lot. Just comes out of nowhere and transforms them.
71.
It doesn't when I go on the range, Phil. I'm still looking.
72. $77.
Well, this match has lasted 30 minutes and it is over.